Chapter 6. The Boar Must Die. Last chapter, Qin Muen was slammed hard by a wild boar while saving others. Blood sprayed from his lips, but he knew one thing. If this beast isn't dealt with, everyone will die. The boar charged again. Qin Muen forced himself to his feet, pivoted at the last second, and let the beast smash straight into a tree, dazing itself. He staggered, coughed blood, but still pulled the bone knife from his back. Yang Min rushed over in worry, but he cut her off. "Don't talk. Hide. If this drags on, I'll end up crippled or dead." From a distance, Hu Qingfeng hid in the bushes, malice in his eyes. He secretly wished Qin Muen would die so he could play the hero, but fate rarely favors cowards. The boar shook off its dizziness and came back even fiercer. It lunged. Qin Muen dodged sharply, his bone knife whistling through the air, burying itself deep in the boar's hindquarters. The beast went berserk. Using a tree as leverage, Qin Muen spun, ripped the knife free, and slashed across its neck. The boar thrashed, refusing to fall. Qin Muen kicked off, vaulted onto its back, and drove his fists and blade into its vital points. Others rushed in, pinning the beast's limbs. With every punch to its skull, Qin Muen roared, until finally, a final piercing squeal split the night. Then silence. "It's over." Qin Muen exhaled, chest wound bleeding freely. Yang Min caught him, panic in her eyes. Just then, Hu Qingfeng slithered out with a sycophantic smile. "Qin, you're amazing. You even killed a boar that big. Tonight, we'll eat well." Before he could finish, Qin Muen's boot smashed into his chest, sending him sprawling. Cold eyes bore down. "You wanted me dead, didn't you?" Hu Qingfeng flailed, stammering excuses. "Misunderstanding. I just panicked, accidentally pushed you," but Qin Muen remembered that fleeting, triumphant smirk earlier. He let the bone knife fall to the ground with a clang, then declared, "Since you wanted me dead, I'll give you that chance, right now." The air froze. The boar was dead, but human treachery was far more dangerous. So, should Qin Muen strike Hu Qingfeng down here and now? Chapter 7. The Traitor Revealed. Last chapter, Qin Muen cornered Hu Qingfeng, demanding, "Were you planning to use that boar to kill me?" With the scheme exposed, Qin Muen tossed his blade to the ground, giving Hu Qingfeng one last chance to prove himself. But instead of retreat, Hu Qingfeng revealed his true colors. He snatched up the bone knife and lunged straight at Qin Muen. Big mistake. Qin's counterattack was brutal and precise. A kick to the arm, a knife hand strike to the wrist, an elbow crushing into the chest. Hu Qingfeng flew back into a tree with a sickening thud, nearly knocked out cold. Yang Min's fury erupted. "Don't forget, it was Muen who saved your life, and this is how you repay him?" Hu Qingfeng denied everything, stubborn and shameless. Qin Muen sneered. "You don't want to draw the blade? Fine, I'll draw it for you." One savage kick slammed into Hu's stomach, sending him writhing on the ground in agony. Then came the slash, clean across the shoulder. Hu Qingfeng's screams echoed through the jungle, pig-like, pathetic. The counselor, pale with fear, rushed to intervene. Maybe it was just a mistake. Let's not take this too far. What he really feared was the aftermath. If someone died here, how could he explain it back home? Qin's voice cut through the chaos, cold and sharp. "If I wanted him dead, my blade wouldn't have stopped at the shoulder." The killing intent in his words left everyone frozen. Then came the warning. "This is the last time. Next time, he dies." Silence fell. Even the bespectacled man had to admit it in his heart. Qin Muen was decisive, ruthless, a natural leader. Hu Qingfeng, treacherous, cowardly, didn't deserve to live. With the rebellion crushed, the group dragged the boar carcass back to the beach. But just as relief began to settle, Qin Muen staggered. Pain tore through his body, and he collapsed unconscious. The glasses-wearing man tore open Qin's shirt. The chest wound was badly infected. His skin burned with fever. Yang Min panicked, stomping her foot in desperation. "We need to disinfect it, but we don't even have clean water. What do we do?" The bespectacled man hesitated, then asked quietly, "You and Qin, are you a couple?" Yang Min froze. "Why do you ask? Do you have a way?" He pulled out a coconut shell, his expression dead serious. "Use urine." And that's where Chapter 7 ends, on yet another jaw-dropping cliffhanger. Tell me, would you accept urine disinfection in this situation? And if you were Yang Min, would you do it yourself? Chapter 8. Surviving the Aftermath. Last chapter, Qin Muen was gravely injured in battle. The boar's attack left a deep wound on his chest, fever burning through his body, teetering on the edge of life and death. Everyone was at a loss until the glasses-wearing man resorted to an unconventional method, disinfecting the wound with urine. The scene instantly became extremely awkward. Hours later, Qin Muen slowly regained consciousness in the jungle. The first thing he saw was Yang Min, sitting vigil beside him. 20 hours without sleep, all just to take care of him. When Qin realized his wound had been treated with urine disinfection, he even calmly explained urine is sterile, and in extreme situations it can save a life. He didn't complain, he solemnly thanked Yang Min for her care. At that moment, Yang Min's eyes welled up. When he called her Xiao Min, their bond deepened further, but survival on a deserted island left little time for warmth. As soon as Qin woke, new complications appeared. Tong Yao from the neighboring class, along with a mysterious woman called Sister Ye, had arrived. They were drawn to the survivors' camp by the smoke from the fire. Tong Yao greeted everyone enthusiastically, even praising Qin as the desert island hero. Yang Min, however, cut in coldly. Acting like we're old friends? The tension spiked immediately. Qin Muen began estimating the total number of survivors on the island, suspecting there were more still hidden. Seeing Hu Qingfeng lying nearby, Yang Min urged leniency. He had already paid the price for his betrayal, and harmony mattered more. Qin agreed without hesitation, though inwardly he thought, if he dares to attack me again, I'll deal with him immediately. As Qin stood, Yang Min rushed to check his wound, worried he might be overexerting himself. Qin reassured her. The wound had scabbed over. It was no longer a problem. The glasses-wearing man then led Qin to inspect the campsite arrangements from the previous night. Thanks to the indigenous stone spears, they had managed to light the fire. With the island's high heat and humidity, they dug pits on the beach, used banana leaves to slow the pork from spoiling, and roasted the meat around the fire. The glasses-wearing man explained he had hoped the smoke would attract rescue, but though no ship or plane appeared, it had drawn Sister Ye and Tong Yao instead. Just as everyone finally thought they could catch a breath by the fire, Qin Muen's ears twitched. He sprang up, bone knife drawn. Pointing deep into the jungle, he said, "There, someone's there." The frame froze and tension spiked instantly. On this island, danger had never left. Chapter 9, The Foreigner Jack. In the last chapter, new faces appeared among the survivors, Tong Yao and Sister Ye. By the firelight, everyone felt a flicker of hope. But Qin Muen suddenly sensed something. Someone was watching them from the jungle. He shouted sharply, "Show yourself!" The grass remained still. Yang Min hesitated, wondering if he had imagined it, but Qin was certain. Someone was out there. Sure enough, in the next moment, a man with blonde hair and blue eyes stepped out from the bushes. A foreigner, he introduced himself as Jack, also a survivor from the ship Mingzhu. Hearing this, the group relaxed slightly. Yang Min couldn't help but tease. Shipwreck survived, Jack showed up, but where's Rose? Qin Muen wasn't distracted. His first question was sharp. Are you alone? Seeing Qin speak fluent English surprised Yang Min. He could communicate just as well. Jack explained that his girlfriend had perished, leaving him as the sole survivor. Yang Min sighed. Reality isn't like the movies and advised him to let go. During conversation, Jack asked about the number of survivors. The glasses-wearing man replied, "Just the ones you see here," noting that some companions were still injured. Jack then pulled out some anti-inflammatory medicine, claiming it was recommended by a pharmacy during his travels in China and that he always carried it. The glasses-wearing man immediately recognized its immense value on a deserted island. Jack generously offered it. "You might as well take it." The group was grateful and invited him to eat with them. Jack quickly blended into the team. Around the fire, they roasted meat and exchanged survival tips. Qin asked Jack what he had been eating the past few days. He replied, "Wild mushrooms and fruits," and added he had discovered a small freshwater stream in the forest. Everyone was shocked. Freshwater could mean the difference between life and death on this island. However, as the group's excitement grew, Qin posed a critical question. "How did you find such a hidden stream when none of us could?" The words froze the atmosphere. Jack's eyes flickered with a subtle unease. Hard to notice, but unmistakable. A hidden stream could be a lifeline, or a trap. Do you think Jack can be trusted? Chapter 10, The Unforeseen Betrayal. In the last chapter, Qin Muen had asked the critical question, "How did you find such a hidden stream?" The atmosphere instantly froze, and Jack's expression seemed off. Facing the interrogation, Jack hurriedly explained that he had just happened to discover it. Yang Min tried to ease the tension, suggesting they go check the place for themselves. But Qin couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. How could one person navigate a jungle teeming with danger, find mushrooms, fruits, and a hidden stream, and survive unscathed? Moreover, Jack claimed he hadn't eaten meat for days, yet showed little interest in the roasted pork. Everything seemed suspicious. Still, the team needed fresh water desperately, so Qin decided to follow Jack. Along the way, Jack kept chatting and even made a sly remark. "Those girls seem really interested in you." Qin sensed the hidden taunt. Following him now could only lead to greater danger. Jack kept insisting. Almost there, but the supposed half-hour journey dragged on far longer than expected. The longer they walked, the more Qin's vigilance grew. Finally, Jack brought them to the so-called destination. But before them lay nothing but barren rocks and overgrown weeds, no stream, no sound of running water. Jack awkwardly explained, Actually, the water is at the bottom of the sinkhole, maybe underground." Qin leaned over to inspect, and his heart stopped in horror. At the bottom, there were countless bones. Before he could react, two unfamiliar thugs suddenly appeared nearby, grinning menacingly. One of them, a bald man, shouted viciously, "Go to hell!" In an instant, Jack shoved Qin Muen hard. Betrayal. Confirmed. Qin fell into the pile of bones, writhing in pain but miraculously survived. From the bottom of the pit, he overheard a chilling conversation. Jack and the thugs were discussing the survivor group, planning to attack Yang Min and the others, even eyeing the wild boar meat. Qin's blood ran cold. Jack was never alone. He wasn't just a stranger, he was the start of an even greater danger. But with his severe injuries, even climbing out seemed impossible, let alone rescuing his teammates. The island crisis had escalated to a new level. Qin Muen's life hung by a thread, and the safety of the group teetered on the edge. Can he survive and escape?